Whistle. July 7th, 1997. Aboard a NOAA research vessel, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, engineers monitor a network of underwater hydrophones. These are special microphones designed to hear what humans never could, originally built during the Cold War to detect Soviet submarines. Today, they capture whispers from the abyss. And then, the sound appears. Rising for seconds, before vanishing as if it surfaced, or was swallowed whole. Sounds like a whistle, one of the technicians says. But out there in the middle of the Pacific, there's nothing that should be making that sound. The source? Never confirmed. Some believe it could have been steam escaping from a deep sea vent, or gas trapped under extreme pressure suddenly released. But the tone was too clean, too precise, almost intentional. The file was logged as whistle and archived in NOAA's sound database. No similar sound has ever been heard again, and maybe never will. Slow down. May 19th, 1997. The equatorial Pacific is calm, but beneath the surface, NOAA is listening. Their hydrophones hear everything, and then an unusual sound emerges. The mysterious sound lasted a full 7 minutes. It began with a deep, almost guttural tone, and then, slowly, like an engine winding down, the frequency dropped. It slowed and faded away. The official explanation? It might be the sound of an iceberg scraping along the ocean floor, but not everyone agrees. The pattern isn't random. It's smooth, controlled, almost mechanical, as if it was intentional. The source was never confirmed, and even stranger, it was picked up by multiple sensors thousands of miles apart. The sound crossed the ocean, like a message, but with no sender. But there's one sound that's even scarier. Listen to this.
Bro, you're not subscribed to the channel yet? Come on.
Now that's terrifying. The train. March 5th, 1997. At a NOAA listening station near the Antarctic Ocean, hydrophones captured something unsettling. A continuous, rhythmic sound, like metal train cars speeding through the deep. Hence the name train. It appeared suddenly and lasted for several minutes. The pattern was eerily stable, as if something massive was moving with intent, crossing the abyss. When I first heard it, I thought, what the hell is that? The initial theory? Volcanic activity beneath the ice. But in that remote coordinate, there are no known active volcanoes, no recorded eruptions. The region is a dead zone, frozen, hostile, and untouched by humans. One more unsettling detail, the sound was never heard again. Some scientists argue it might have been the collapse of a glacier or an extreme glacial shift, but no physical evidence was found in the days that followed. No tremors, no changes in the ice, just that sound. And then silence. The mystery remains to this day. The Ocean's Lament. March 1st, 1999. NOAA's hydrophone network is live in the equatorial Pacific. Something emerges. A long, low, dragging sound. It stretches on for over 15 minutes, and it sounds like a muffled scream, distant, as if something enormous was moaning. The recording was given a strange name, Julia. The sound was so powerful it was picked up by all 6 hydrophones scattered across the Pacific. But even with that triangulation, its exact origin couldn't be determined. NOAA has a theory. They believe it was an iceberg crashing and dragging itself across the ocean floor. But the tone was steady, almost melodic. It didn't sound like cracking ice. It sounded like someone trying to communicate. The most unsettling part? Julia was recorded only once, and after that, silence. They never heard that voice again. But many who listen to the recording say the same thing. It sounds like someone calling for help. Upsweep. August 1991. The world is at peace on the surface, but deep in the Pacific, something begins to sing. NOAA researchers detect a strange pattern coming from hydrophones placed near the Pacific Ocean's mid-ocean ridge. It's a pulsing sound, a sequence of tones that rise in frequency, always ascending, and that's why it was named Upsweep. It becomes most active during seasonal transitions, spring and fall, as if something awakens during those times. The exact origin of the sound has never been confirmed. The leading theory? Underwater volcanic activity. But here's the problem. There's no visible activity where the sound is strongest. No heat, no lava, no tremors. And more, the sound shifts in intensity over the years, but it never goes away. It's like a code, being transmitted over and over again, waiting for a response. To some oceanographers, it's just environmental noise, but to others, it's the soundtrack of something we still don't understand. The bloop. This sound shook the entire Pacific. It was so powerful it traveled across the ocean, and so unexplained. Some believed it came from a sea monster. The year was 1997. NOAA was monitoring the southern Pacific near Antarctica when it captured a sound that lasted about a minute. It was detected by multiple hydrophones, over 3,000 miles apart. No natural sound had ever been that loud, that piercing, coming from the depths of the ocean. At the time, scientists had no explanation. It wasn't a whale, it wasn't a submarine, but it wasn't an earthquake, just bloop, as it came to be known. And then the theories began. Could it have been a colossal creature? Some kind of deep-sea life form we've never seen? Maybe even larger than any dinosaur? Even H.P. Lovecraft was brought into the conversation. The coordinates of the bloop were eerily close to the fictional location of Ur-Laye, the sunken city where Cthulhu sleeps. But in 2005, NOAA made a statement. The sound was likely caused by ice breaking, possibly a glacial fracture imploding under pressure. But then, why was no similar sound ever recorded again? Why only once? And more importantly, why was it so intense? The bloop remains the most powerful underwater sound ever recorded. The Mariana Trench, November 2016. NOAA launches an ambitious mission to place a long-range hydrophone in the Mariana Trench, the deepest point in Earth's oceans. A titanium-encased hydrophone is deployed into Challenger Deep, the very bottom of the trench, reaching nearly 10,900 meters below the surface. The goal: to capture the ambient sounds from the most extreme depths of the ocean. The device begins its slow descent, 1,000 meters, 3,000, 7,000, 10,900, until it finally touches the seafloor. And then the recording begins. For 23 days, the device continuously captured a wide range of sounds, but the most mysterious sound came to be known as biotwang. Described as a kind of repetitive metallic buzz, the sound lasted only a few seconds, and its origin remains unknown. Scientists suspect it might come from a minke whale, but they've never been able to confirm it. Even stranger, the sound was recorded repeatedly across multiple seasons, which is highly unusual for biological sounds. The Loneliest Whale. In 1989, deep in the Pacific Ocean, underwater microphones picked up a sound, a whale song. But something was off. This creature was completely alone. And the reason why is heartbreakingly sad? The recording came from the Hudson Oceanographic Institute. It was a clear pattern, a whale vocalization, but with one anomaly. The frequency was 52 Hz, much higher than normal. Typical whales sing between 10 and 39 Hz. This sound was completely out of range. It was alone. Since then, it has continued to echo year after year across different seasons, always following the same migratory path, resonating through deep waters in the absolute silence of the Pacific, but never joined. No other whale seems to hear it. Scientists around the world have confirmed it. There is only one animal making this sound, a single whale, and no one has ever seen it. It has never been caught on camera, never spotted by ships, only heard. There are theories. Maybe it's deaf. Maybe it was born with a hearing deformity. Maybe it's a mutation. Or perhaps the result of two different species mating. A unique hybrid doomed to be both the first and the last of its kind. And that's why it became known as the loneliest whale in the world.